Hello, everyone. We are here to talk about the login messages that is available now in the modern UX. So what's new? Introducing the ability for administrators to display messages to end users when they log into the modern UX. Administrators can now display corporate required messages or an announcement of any upcoming maintenance in their modern UX when users log in. Why is this important? Customers in the past that used to use classic UI would build HTML portlets and put in generic messages in there that would display to the end user that whether it's a corporate message or even just upcoming maintenance and stuff. These HTML portlets would only be for the classic UI, and the end user could just change their layout by removing those portlets from those pages. However, all of this would not be even possible in the modern UX because we don't have portlets displayed there. So now in 15.9.2, we have a better mechanism of being able to display messages to end users in the modern UX. So the login messages is now a new configuration that is available within the system settings of the modern UX, and it is under the section called login message. Administrators with the following access rights can go ahead and configure the login message, which is the administration authorization. So essentially, they just need the admin access on the modern UX, and they can set the login messages. The administrators can set a message which would be up to 1,000 characters long. And once the message is set and is enabled, the users will see the message pop up on top every time they log into the modern UX. So let's look at a little bit about the system settings for how this login message is configured. So going from top to bottom, once you come into the login messages within system settings in modern UX, the first is the value that you can see is if to be able to enable, disable, or schedule the message. If you schedule the message to be displayed, you can set the start and end time when this message should be displayed. A good example of that would be is an upcoming maintenance where you want to start notifying the user a few days ahead of the time, and then after the maintenance date is complete, you would want that message to be stopped from being displayed. The next is the next is the type, where you can at the moment only select toast as an option. In the future, as we enhance the different message type, you will see additional options added here. The toast message is really the message that appears on the top of the screen today when you would see that normally if there is any error or informational message, a toast appears on the top. You can click on it for it to go away, or after a certain time, it just goes away by itself. The severity defines how that message that appears, what icon should be used, and what should be the background for that message itself. So depending on the type of the message and the user's attention you want to get, you can select the severity. There are about 5 different severities, and I will display to you what those, how those 5 will appear when selected. The next is the body. This is a required field. The body is where you would define the message up to 1,000 characters long. Whatever message you put in here will be the message that gets displayed to the end user upon login. And the last field is the time frame, as in seconds, as to how long should that message be displayed to the end user before the message automatically goes away. The end user, of course, can always click on the message at any point for it to go away faster. You can set this duration to be whatever time frame that the administrator desires. 5 seconds is the default value, but you can change that to be anything longer or less than 5 seconds. Based on the type you select, the 5 options that you have, or based on the severity that you select, the 5 options that you have, the first is info, which will have the eye icon and a blue background. Next is success, which will have a check mark with a green background. Attention is just an exclamation warning sign with a yellow background. Caution is also an exclamation but with the orange background. And danger is the stop sign with a red background. So these are the 5 severity messages that types that you can display with their different colors. So with that, let's jump into seeing this in action. So here I am in Modern UX, and I am going to go look at my administration site where I will see how I can configure my login messages. So under administration, I will see system settings. And in system settings, now I have the login message as a new option available to me. Upon clicking, I can see the configuration for it. I can, by default, it's set to be disabled. That means no message is displayed to the end user. I can enable it, or I can schedule it, and I can pick a date and time, which would be the range that I want this data to be displayed. I can just do it only for today, or do it from now to end of the week. The type is the toast, where the type toast is the only option available for type at the moment. And then severity are those 5 options that I can pick from. So in this case, I'm just going to have success because I like green message. There is no warning that I want them to be aware of. Under the body, I can type the message that I want the end user to display. In this case, I've just typed that this is my medical service system. The data in the system is sensitive and should be protected. So it's just information I want to show to the user, and I want this to be displayed for 15 seconds. And that's the value that I can set right here. Again, the default is 5. I can change it to any other value that I want. Once this is set, now let's see this in action. So when I log out and log back in as myself, there is that message being displayed on top as toast. There is the exact message, which is welcome to the medical service management. Data in the system is sensitive and will be protected. After 15 seconds, the message automatically disappears, or if I click on it, the message will disappear right away. And once I'm done, I can always go back and I can disable this so that it'll no longer appear. So I can go ahead and log out, and I log back in. Notice the message did not appear because it is disabled. That concludes my demo for the login messages.